What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So we're moving right along, previewing all 30 NBA teams before this season gets going. Next up is the Portland Trail Blazers. Last season, not good. 21-61, missing the playoffs. This season, not projected to do a lot better, unfortunately, for the fans there in Portland. But we're here to talk about some additions they made in the offseason that could help improve the team this year and speculate what the front office could possibly do this season, during the season, and going, into next year, I guess you could say. But before we do, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there. More NBA content, as I said, going through all 30 NBA teams. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the previews. They're bringing back basically the same roster with a couple off-season additions, not losing anyone really from last year, but you're bringing in Devontae Graham to bring in off the bench, drafting Donovan Clingan out of UConn, bringing in Bryce McGowens as well. But you're still rolling with, similar starting lineup. And Scoot Henderson, really love young point guard, rookie last year. Then you got Anthony Simmons, Denny Avdija, Jeremy Grant, and DeAndre Ayton off the bench. You're probably going to roll with like Devontae Graham, Shaedon Sharpe, Matisse Thybulle, good defender, can knock down a couple shots as well. Chris Murray, Donovan Clingan, Robert Williams, Bryce McGowan. I think that'll probably be the playing group there. Curious to see how that all shakes out. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's a pretty big logjam in the front court of guys that I think need to and should be on the court or are expected to be on the court. DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, two guys that have both been in the league, for a while. DeAndre Ayton, obviously, what was the #1 pick? Was that 5? Was that like 7 years ago? Was that 2017? I don't know. He was the #1 pick, a top pick, a handful of years ago. Obviously, he was with Phoenix, traded here to Portland. Robert Williams was a key contributor to that 2022 Boston Celtics team that made it to the finals. I wonder what happened there. But anyway, and you have Donovan Clingan, a guy who I think can be a solid contributor off the bench in year one. But you have a logjam now. Are you going to run a too big lineup? We've seen Donovan Clingan, I think it was the first preseason game, hit a 3, but he's not a stretch big like a cat, that is going to stretch the floor every play. He's still more of a, bang down towards the basket type of guy. So do you make a move? It's been rumored about Jeremy Grant. Are you making a move for a while? I'm curious. If me personally, if I'm the Portland Trail Blazers front office, I'm looking to move on from, a DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams, really, and Jeremy Grant, because I really like the Murray brothers, and having terrors of facing them as a Michigan State fan when they were at Iowa. I'm trying to get Chris Murray in at that 4. See if he can develop, see what he can become. I think he can be a solid NBA stretch 4 in today's NBA. And then getting Donovan Clingan out there. But if, obviously, I don't know if you aren't going to move on from probably both DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams. So you're keeping one of them on the roster, see what you can get for either one. And then you're starting one, and then Donovan Clingan. I don't know the contract situations for either of them off the top of my head. But ideally, have one of them start in front of Clingan for this year, and then ideally move him in next year. But you want him to get a lot of run because he should be your starting center of the future. And then, as I said, with Jeremy Grant, depending what you can turn one of those centers into, if you can get some nice, solid rotational 4-piece to back up Chris Murray, because obviously that's what he's at right now, or if anyone on the roster, can possibly fill in at that position as well. I think that would be advantageous for this team. Because listen, 21-61 last year, projected win total 21.5 this year. I got them 23-59, just a little slightly better because I think Scoot will be improved. So I think, that'll naturally improve the roster overall. But it's not going to be a good year. I'll say that. And if I'm wrong, then I will come on and fully admit that I'm wrong. But I don't think anyone thinks this is going to be a playoff team here in Portland. So, last season, 29th in offensive rating, and what did they do in the offseason to really improve that? I guess you could say adding a scorer like Devontae Graham off the bench could possibly, help a little bit, but, and drafting Donovan Clingan could, possibly, and theoretically, but, it's going to be a rough season in Portland. So I would like them to play the young guys, see what you can get, for some of the older guys on the roster, Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, see if you can, package any of those guys, maybe get some more picks or, bring in some solid rotational pieces for this year to help the young guys grow into some roles. And I think Shaden Sharp and Anfernee Simons are good young pieces as well that have been in the league for a couple years. So I think there's some solid pieces here, but a lot of work to do. But that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.